Alright, let's do the same for yet another data set. Call this data set 1C. Alright, data set 1C is 2, 6, 3, 1, 7, 5. Alright, and hopefully at this time you will pause the movie and do these calculations. We're going to calculate the average, the median, mode, the variance, and standard deviation. Remember, the only way to get good at this stuff, which is not difficult, is to practice this yourself. So at this point it's best to pause the movie and try these numbers yourself, and then once you've got them, or once you're totally stumped and wasting too much time, continue and see how to do this. But this should not be difficult. Alright, so let's do those calculations then on the next page. And again, let's do a table with x and x squared. I'm going to write down my x's: 2, 6, 3, 1, 7, 5. We square our x's: 4, 36, 9, 1, 49, 25, and then we would add first the column of x's. Works out to be 24, so sigma x is 24. Add up the x squareds, turns out to be 124. Alright, so that's sigma x squared. So first calculation, the average, x bar is sigma x divided by n, is 24 divided by n, the number of data points. That's 2, 4, we have 6 data points. Alright, so x bar is 4. The average of that data set is 4. The variance, our first measure of variation, which helps us calculate the standard deviation. S squared is sigma x squared minus n times x bar squared divided by n minus 2. And sigma x squared is the 124 minus n, what is n, 6, times x bar 4 squared divided by the n of 6 minus 1. Alright, and that boils down to precisely 5.6. So if you want to be precise about this, to 4 significant places it's 5.600, but of course the trailing zeros are not important, except to tell us that it is accurate to that many places. Alright, and then the standard deviation, S, the square root of the variance. Alright, square root of the variance, S squared, or square root of 5.6, and that makes S equal to 2.366 to 4 significant places. Alright, so we have our data set, and then we're going to sort them so we can get the median and mode, hopefully. Alright, data set originally was 2, 6, 3, 1, 7, 5, and when we sort the data, it boils down to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have n equal to 6, which is even. So we'll need to take the middle 2 and take the average. Alright, so the median is the average of the data values 3 and 5, which clearly is 4. Which, by the way, is the same as the average, right? So the median and the average are the same. And they're the same because the data is symmetrical. Okay, in other words, when you look at these numbers 1, 2, 3, the 4 is skipped, then 5, 6, 7, the data is symmetrical. Okay, so around the middle of the data, 4, right, you have a value that's one value that's 3 below, you have one value that's 3 above. Alright, then you have another value that's 2 below, then you have another value that's 2 above. Then you have one value that's 1 below, then you have one value that's 1 above. Alright, so the data set's symmetrical. And every time that happens, the mean and median, the average and the median will be the same. In this case, there is no mode, as all the data points occur only once. Okay, and that's the calculations for that particular data set. Alright, and now let's look at one more data set, and again, hopefully you all try this yourself for practice before watching me do this. So let's call this data set 1D, and the data is 4, 3, 8, 6, and 4. And again, we'll do the same calculations. Now clearly I may not ask you to calculate each of these for a raw data set, but you need to be prepared to do so. So we calculate the average, the median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. Alright, so at this point, hopefully you'll pause this and continue once you've done these calculations yourself. Alright, so as before, I'm going to use the same calculation setup. I'm going to put it in a table. It's 4, 3, 8, 6, 4 are our data points. Square those, you get 16, 9, 64, 36, 16. Add these columns. X's add up to 25, so sigma x is 25. The x squareds add up to 141. So that's sigma x squared. Alright, so first, the average. X bar is sigma x divided by n. It's 25 divided by the number of data points, 2, 4, we have 5 data points. And so the average is 5. The variance, s squared, sigma x squared minus n times x bar squared divided by n minus 1. Alright, sigma x squared is 141 minus n 5 times x bar, which is also 5 squared, divided by n minus 1. It's 5 minus 1. S squared is equal to exactly 4. Note, I should have done this before, that S squared must always be positive. It can be 0, but it can only be 0 if you have no variation. That means all the data points are identical. So that's the variance, and therefore the standard deviation is easy to do in your head. Alright, standard deviation S is the square root of the variance. Square root of 4 is clearly 2. Alright, so we have a standard deviation of 2. Alright, let's rewrite the data. 4, 3, 8, 6, and 4. We would sort that, and once sorted, that's 3, 4, 4, 6, and 8. Alright, n is 5, which is odd number, so we'll take the middlemost data point, and so the median for this case is 4. Remember, the average was 5. And the mode, the most frequently occurring, alright, also 4, because the 4 occurs twice. And the other numbers only occur once. Okay, and so those are the calculations for that data set.